Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Oh. I want there to be some music in the background if I'm ever just not talking. There we go. Well, it's been a bit. Let's see. Bitrate's doing okay for now. We'll see. Let's hope it keeps going that way. All right. Well, cool. Okay. Well, tonight, wherever it may be, I was going to do some Wander deck building for the night. We can make, if anyone in the chat like wants to make something specific, we can like kind of go over that, like do like a skeleton or anything like that. But there are definitely like some decks I want to like visit for Wander stuff. So yeah, but we'll get right on into that main monitor. There we go. Perfecto. Okay. Alright, so you see I have some stuff right here. I have affinity. We can delete that. I was gonna do videos on each of these four. I still plan on doing that, at least for some of them. We'll see if that happens though. This is a garbage pile. This builds itself. Okay. I do have a fox list already built. But let's see. So we got Force of Wind here. What are like some fun rulers? Search. Card type? Card type. It's just ruler. Let's see. I guess we could try building something new. Violet time? Violet for Wander? Violet for Wander is just elect though, still. I don't think she got anything new either for the deck. The only thing I could think of that you would potentially add would be like Loki enters the Game of Gods. But I don't know if that's good enough. Maybe. We could try building Fallen Angels. Let me make a notepad over on the side. Just with like an idea of some stuff. So notepad. What we got? A violet. Violets. You could build like Belial Stemma. That deck's kind of cool and kind of doesn't exist anymore. What else is there that's interesting? We could do like a Welser thing maybe. I just released that one video of the Welser like New Frontiers list. But there's a way to change it for Wanderer to make him like more Wanderer. We could do Flicker Lumia. Love that deck. Ooh, we could do Brunhild Seal Release. That deck's sick. We could try making Dark Tree, because I know Dark Tree's not banned, and they have, they just got Hornback. Oh, I need to pull up the ban list. I actually legit have no clue. Not sure if it's your end, but you can't hear anything. Uh-oh. Let's see. Anyone else able to hear me or not hear me? Try doing this. Can you hear me now? Did that work? Yes? Okay. Excellent. How about now? Can you still hear me? If we're still able to hear me, we're doing good. It was just, I guess, a weird track. Now build Violet. One sec. Give me one sec. Rules, ban limited list. Yes, okay. So Carlina got banned. Horn got unbanned, right? And that was it. No longer banned, Horn, Carlina banned. So there's the Wanderer ban list. Alright, so I can just refer to that. Where am I getting pinged? I'll just close Discord. Okay. Greetings! Greetings! Okay. Alright, so let me pull up this notepad. Cool. We want to do Violet first. I can do a Violet deck real quick. I mean, I don't think Violet's, like, super difficult to build for Wanderer. Again, it's just going to be Electo. But, like, we can build it. Violet. You're playing 4 Electo, right? You're playing 3 improved healing robot. Improved. Play 3 of those. You're playing heart to heart. Probably playing 4 of that. Charlotte's Protector, right? We're playing like 4 of this. What else does Violet have? Violet has Everfrost. That was like the one Adam I think the deck plays. You're playing 2 Castle of Beatrice. What else? What are we at? 21 cards. Wall of Terror, the boy. Can't forget the wall. Voice from the Void. Voice from the Void. And we're at 29. Let's see. We can do advanced search here. Draw. What draws me a card? Volmel. Maybe Loki enters the Game of Gods. Oh, enters. We'll put it down there for now. Sudden manifestation of power. Easy. Praying Valkyrie. Keep the Faith doesn't draw. Cthulhu's Intimidation's pretty meh. I don't think there's anything like from the new stuff that would really go in it besides Loki enters the Game of Gods. Maybe. I guess you could try playing Dolly. Dolly's just like tech, right? What else do we have? So I'm trying to think of like other Wanderer staples. Like you could play Lorite. The reason I like Lorite is Lorite, even though your deck is like predominantly blue, like you can use Castle of Beatrice to cycle through Lorites, and like if you're ever playing a mirror match, oh, you're probably playing 4 Horn. Maybe just sideboard Horn. Oh, you're playing Hydromonica. Oh god, how could I forget about Hydromonica? Oh yes. You might be playing some amount of Death Scythe. I like how this is like, it would be super funny against like Nyarlathotep for order stuff if the orders didn't say they couldn't lose the abilities. So it's just actually dog shit against those. I think some of the lists were playing Gleipnir, right? I think they were playing Gleipnir like over Monica. Which I don't know if I like super like. Because like there's gonna be so much J-Ruler destruction in Wanderer now if Order is like remotely decent. And with Wanderer, the format's actually so much slower than New Frontiers, which is hilarious to think about. That Legacy is slower than Standard in like Magic terms. Because, like, Electo's, like, just the fastest deck, right? Especially if you're playing, like, Umer. You put in, like, 3 Umer. Oh, 5 Voice from the Void. But, like, if you, like... Because, like, if we look at the ban list, right? I can just drag that over here. Like, if we look at the ban list, Carlina's banned. Lave's banned. Feith is banned. Law is banned. Lycaon's banned. Like, all this shit that was, like, early game, crazy, pop-off, Sack Altar, Invitation to Purgatory, Athena, Sigurd. Like, all that stuff's just, like, not legal. I mean, Sigurd rotated, and Sack Altar also rotated before, but... Like, there's no deck just, like, zooming anymore, right? Like, I'm not afraid of, like, a lot of turn 1s. Outside of, like, Nyarlathotep, which is the same in New Frontiers. But, like, it's the same thing in, like... If anything, Nyarlathotep's easier to counter in Wanderer, because Lorite stops the FTK. Or, well... going second. Like, turn kill. But Nyar also gets duels. So I'm like, trying to think. Like, what are we at? 36 cards. Double Umer. You either want more draw or you want tech shit for this. What's the biggest thing against Electo? Like, the biggest issue that Electo has? Is it the fact that every deck has 4 Horn now? Because, like, removal doesn't really do anything because of improved healing robot. They have to, like, keep canceling your enters, which I guess is a lot easier with, like, Feith and Lorite in the meta. Or maybe not meta, but... Because, like, Lorite's also super good against Electo, because it stops a trigger and then it takes a sack, right? So it, like, 1-for-2s on the Electo out, or on the Electo triggers. If that makes sense. If anything I say doesn't make sense or you need me to clarify something, feel free to, like, ask in the chat. Cause otherwise, I'm just gonna fucking go. If I had to put 4 more cards in here, do you even care about anything in board? I don't think you do, right? Because, like, Calico Cat is your worst enemy. Calico Cat. In a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's deck. I mean, Calico Cat's, like, good, but, like, Calico Cat's, like, kind of the same as Horn, in a sense. Calico just, like, sticks around. Do you just play, like, 4 Dark Prom in here? No, nothing's ever sticking. And eats 2 banishes if you get going. Yeah, that's true. It also has the token. Currently working away, but wanted to swing in to see how the build is going. Kyron just wanted me to build Violet really quick, which, I mean, this deck, like, kind of builds itself. Like, here's, like, 36 cards that I didn't really have to think about. And, like, if I wanted to, I could throw in, like, 4 Gleipnir, call it a day. But I'm trying to think about, like, the end of this. Like, what I think the, like, end con of this is. Because, like, one thing about me that if... I've only done one, right? I've only done the Welser video, but I plan on doing more deck profiles. One thing you'll see with, like, the deck profiles that I do, I love tech cards. Like, real quick tangent, not Odin, I can show you Nyarlathotep. I'm playing 1 Wind of Asgard and Nyarlathotep, because, like, just giving your field barrier just can randomly win you the game. It's just, like, gonna answer this card, or your opponent just loses, right? So, because, like, if you Wind of Asgard and then Isis... it's like the game's just like over if they don't like cancel the ISIS, but they can't because of order, right? Like something like that. So like I love tech options like that. It's really easy to top 8 events if you start thinking about tech options. So I love thinking about tech options of like what what your deck does so well, but like what one weakness does it have that you can play like this one option that's not terrible in any situation and just kind of like helps. I honestly don't know if Electo has anything like that. The only thing I could think of would be like Dark Alice, which like works with Electo, but it's kind of off color, so you'd have to play. I mean, you could play. Could you play Ruler's Memoria? Maybe. But like you can play. I mean, you have Moonshades and you have Magic Stone of the Six Sages still for some fucking reason. I don't know why that card isn't banned. Ban Magic Stone of the Six Sages. But like you can play like Dark Alice, right? Because like that gets around Calico Cat. Or am I boosted? Calico Cat. Put target, yeah. So like you could play Dark Alice, that stops Calico Cat, and it facilitates 2 triggers of Electo. And even if you want to keep the other card in your hand, you can always just banish the Dark Alice. Like if you need to target shit in your grave with like Castle of Beaches? This card doesn't even target. Yeah, Castle of Beatrice still works with Dark Alice in play. So she would have anti-synergy with Electo. So she would have anti-synergy with Electo's remove 3, because you're not allowed to neither player's allowed to remove anything, right? Cards in your graveyard can't be targeted by a spell your opponent controls or be removed from the game. Yeah, so you couldn't spam your Electos if Dark Alice exists, but like your Dark Alice can just kill itself. You don't have a ton of Resonators. Yeah, like like you have Charlotte's Protector, Wall of Terror, Improved Healing Robot, Umer, Maria Bella. Like most of your deck is primarily Resonators. Like if I were to, everything up here is a Resonator, and if I were to add Dark Alice, that's 4 more. Can't be Wanderer without using Dark Alice. You're right. We'll put it in as a 3 of. Like, if we just, like, count this as, like, potentials, right? Like, you're at 4, 8, 12, 16, plus 9. You're at 25. Over half your deck is Resonators. It's more for, like, the Electo, like, removal, right? Because the Electo removal will bring back your Electos. So, like, if you have good, better cards in your hand, like you want to save triggers of Charlotte's Protector or, like, other stuff like that, you can just discard Electos instead. To hybrid out for infinite mana. Fizz, I'll show you what I do for Wanderer for that deck. Because it has to be green-red. Since you don't have Lycion. But like this is like kind of like just a pretty staple like list, right? Like there's just so many draw cards and then everything else just does more things. Fuck it, play 1 tech Lorite. There we go. There's my tech card, the 1 Lorite. He'll put in work, and then you're like what? You're 6 Sage. You're like 4 6 Sage, right? 4 6 Sage. Moonshade, probably. Because, like, you don't care about life because of Improved Healing Robot. Was going to ask if I'm still experimenting with that, which you made a video on not too long ago. There are some things... Mikage Rhea for Castle. Oh, you could play Rhea. Yeah, Rhea is an option. You could play Mikage Rhea. We're going to take these out. Yeah, you could definitely play Mikage Rhea in this list. But this is, like, pretty easy. I'll leave it up here if someone wants to, like, screenshot real quick. Oh wait, 2 more stones. Earth Core, I guess. You could probably play the red stone that draws a card, the Atom Stone, but like then it prevents you from doing most of these turn 1 plays, so that's pretty bad. So I'd probably just play like Earth Core. Yeah. If you guys want to take a quick screenshot of that, if you want to use it for anything. I'll leave it up for 10 more seconds. And again, I won't really build sideboards. We can talk about, like, where cards are bad, like, when we're doing the lists. But, like, sideboards are more, like, event specific. Odin list. This is my Odin list for New Frontiers currently. I don't have one for Wanderer, but we can do one. Odin. Put that in the list. Why not use Ruler's Memoria? But I can also see, yeah, like having a 4-of. So Force of Will mathematics. I love Force of Will mathematics. So if you have 4 4-of or 10 4-ofs in your 40 card deck, right? You are statistically guaranteed to draw into one of them if you full mulligan, right? Because it's a 1 in 10 chance. I know statistics don't 100% work like that. However, that's like the general idea, right? You will see one of each of the 10 cards in your deck. So having only 4 Hydromonicas in your list, if you full mull to search for it, you have a high chance of potentially seeing it. But it's like you don't really want to like take the chance to whiff. Like a lot of the issue is like the whiff potential, right? Because like you still want to be doing stuff on turn 1, and you can't really get punished in Wanderer for doing stuff on turn 1. Like the only deck that can punish you is like Nyarlathotep by like OTKing you. Like they're like weird turn 1 OTK decks, but they all die to like any form of interaction. So yeah, like all 4 of your 6H being at the bottom of your deck. Unfortunate. We can do Welser really quick. I'm just gonna clone this because this is the New Frontiers list. But like, if you take a look at Welser, like what we have here, like what do you lose? So like you lose Lycaon because it's banned, right? Other than that, that's like it. So like technically Seal of Wind and Water you would also lose because Seal of Wind and Water was the infinite for the mana. Melfi's like kind of whatever. Perseia's Big Show's just really good with Welser. It's just like, it's free, if that makes sense. Loki Enters the Game of Gods still technically draws you infinitely on its own, so like you can keep that in there. We'll just keep Daggermaga from out. Yggdrasil's fine, Feasting's fine, Magic Stone Dance of Chaos is fine, Sudden Manifestation of Power is fine. Garyon you can consider like a tech option, you could take it out. So this is kind of like where the list is, right? Like 29 cards. There's also Rewriting Laws. Rewriting Laws is also infinite mana on its own. Or not infinite mana, infinite draw. The other one, I'm just going to change the stone lineup immediately. So the stones are actually interesting. You get to use Memoria of Reincarnation. Right? Yeah, you get to use Memoria of Reincarnation, the Perseus stone. The cool part about this one is if it leaves the field to trigger off of the Nyarlathotep cards, you just get to draw more cards. So like that's kind of sick. I think that's really cool. I don't know. And then you play 4 of the other duel, which is called Gale? What's the red green duel called? That's the like normal duel. I can't believe I can't remember this. Blasting Waves? Okay. Why is it called Blasting Waves? It makes it sound like it's blue. Okay, so like this is your stone base, right? And so the reason this is your stone base, and you can tell me if you found something else for this, but so the reason that's your stone base is because you play Cthulhu's Intimidation in the deck. So the turn you like get all your stones, your Cthulhu's Intimidation costs 0. So Cthulhu's Intimidation draws you your deck. That was the whole idea behind it, initially. And then check out this infinite mana line. Oh no, not number 3. So the infinite mana line is after you draw your whole deck with Cthulhu's Intimidation, you keep replaying it, and then you third boon your own Cthulhu's Intimidation. But since you're at Seal 10 after Judgment, you go infinite on mana with third boon, canceling your own Cthulhu's you're playing for free. And then the reason that I was initially playing Daggermaga, someone, if you install the app, you get a better experience. True, you get to see my face in less K. So the reason I was initially playing Daggermaga, and someone brought this up in the comments section of the Welser video, You could probably, in New Frontiers, you could probably play Mysteries of Gruz Ballesta or like other burn cards instead of Dogger Magra, and they'll probably be better. The initial reasoning was because third boon can counter Dogger Magra. So if you can't kill your opponent for whatever reason, like let's say they play Belial and they like Belial cover themselves, you can go through like the loop, and when you third boon, like on your turn, you leave open as many stones as possible, and you only need 5 stones. So as long as you have at least 5 like true like called stones, your third boon and Dogger Magra will play for infinite mana, and then you can Dogger Magra them again. To be fair, 2 of those stones would have to be Magic Stone of the Six Sages in order for you to get the black and the light, or darkness and the light. But that is like a thing. So this was the initial play line that we were doing in New Frontiers as well. I think the Lycan variant's actually better, but this was how the deck started. And then as I was recording the video to put up for the New Frontiers Welser list, I read Cthulhu's Intimidation and realized it said Fire Magic Stone, of which there are 0 in the New Frontiers Welser list. So that was upsetting. Horn? Yeah, you probably play 4 Horn. Like, odds are you play 4 Horn. And again, you could just not play Loki Enters the Game of Gods. You can if you want to. But like, again, your mana's like severely limited into red and green with this variant. It's funny how the deck honestly feels like better / more consistent in New Frontiers. You could potentially find like another way to gain infinite mana. I haven't like super looked through Wanderer. But this was our initial like line we were going for. You use Little Red and Barbados to infinite mana burn you. Yeah. Like I'm sure there are plenty of ways to do it. But this is like kind of what we like ended up on initially, right? And then like here we go. We're at 39 cards. The tech, the one more, right? No one will see it coming. Play that 1 green-black spell that gives you 4 mana. I feel like I know what you're talking about. Does it have like Rizard on like the front of it? Is that the card you're talking about? It's like Undead King or something like that. Nope, that's not it. Ooh, maybe it's Undead Lord. God, I'm so fucking sick. This is not the card, though. This is the card I was talking about, but this is not the card. Is it a Gruz Ballesta card? You think it's a Ninetail card. So Ninetails was in EDL, right? Sets Epic of the Dragon Lord. We'll just do like Magic Stone War 2, just in case. Ninetails is red. Arle? Are you talking about Nine-Tailed Fox? You're probably talking about Fox, and I'm an absolute fucking monkey. Let's see. Let's see, which is also easy to Prissy a target to get out since you already guaranteed to cast Big Show twice a game. Yeah, Big Show's like Prissy and Big Show is so free in Welser. It's actually super fucking cool. Yeah, Nine-Tailed Fox. It's like from Green Black. Search. Tuning of Wind and Darkness. Yep. This goes infinite. That is true. It is a 3-mana card that goes infinite. Yeah, you can do that too. That is an option. Make your opponent discard all the cards in their hand. Oh, thank you, Streamlabs. You're doing the Lord's work. But yeah. So this is like kind of where we were with like Welser in New Frontiers. Or in New Frontiers. In Wanderer. There's also potential to play like the stone cards. So like you can play like you can do Yggdrasil top tourist destination on turn 1, right? Like that's always your best play. And then you could do like Blessing of Yggdrasil on turn 2, because that'll recover one of the stones used. But like Gruz, yeah. I mean, Gruz was like Nine-Tailed Fox back then. Joni Be Good, thank you for the follow. I hope I said your name right. If I didn't, feel free to flame me in my own chat. But like, yeah, you can play like Blessing like on the next turn to like give you like more consistent stone ramp. Because like the biggest issue with the Nyarlathotep cards is it's like a power turn, right? Like you need to do it all in a single turn. Foment? Well, Foment just like cycles through cards, right? Yeah, like Foment can cycle through cards. You could play Hydromonica too, like somewhere in here. Like there's a lot you can do with this. And this is again just like kind of a brief skeleton of it. You played Turbo Presea Train Wizard, the online GP. Nice. Yeah, I like Welser. He's a fun deck. Okay. What else do we have on our list? We're gonna take that off. Ooh. Alright. This is one of my favorite decks. This deck is so fucking cool. If you thought infinite number 13s with Welser is sick, oh boy. Some of you already know what this deck is, which is fine. But some of you don't. And we need to change that. I could not tell you what the other 4 cards in the Rune deck are. But, it's Turbo Seal. I fucking love this deck. But it's mainly Einherjar summon, number 13. I need to get my taxes so I can buy all the missing rulers I don't own. I feel that. I want my tax return too. I need to pay my bills. Pandora. So if you guys are unaware of this deck, there was this card printed a hot minute ago called Pandora, Queen of Miracles, who says, release the seal abilities of light cards and spells you control. So what you do, and she's a human, so what you do is you planting means, and you send Pandora to your grave, and then you Einherjar summon the Pandora back into play. And that makes your number 13s cost 0 mana. And then, after your number 13s are done costing 0 mana, you also get to play Mysteries of Almerius, which its seal will also be unlocked because it's a light card, and that gives you up to 3 non-Magic Stone cards from your grave to your hand, which typically is more number 13s. And then you get to play, like, Lorite and other fun and fair cards like him. You just want to play Alice Palace? Zeus Alice Palace is like, I mean, that deck's fine. It's just so, like, generic in, like, what it's trying to do. What would be the best ruler for that? Trip mana, but you can do a rip on anything. Rustin, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. But Alice Palace is basic. They got a very, very cool card in the new set. A card I am very partial to. Okay, this deck. Let's see, where are we at? What else do you do with this? It's just like better cards, right? Like Fairy Spell. Fairy Spell, you just get to play whatever you want. Fairy Spell, you probably play like Calico Cat. For like Electo shit. You're probably playing Horn. Oh god, this deck probably sucks with Horn existing. No! Oh no! Dude, Horn fucks up so many fun decks. I'm so mad that they were like, you know what the answer to Electo is? We unban Horn of the Sacred Beasts. That's the answer. It's so upsetting. Because it, like, ruins shit like this. Or, like, I'm super partial. When Carlina still existed, I loved doing, like, Harvesting Season Carlina decks. So, like, you played Harvesting Season on turn 1 with Carlina, and then turn 2 you played, like, Mikage Seidro's Game of Dreams. And the rest of your deck was just fatties. Like, that deck was funny. I mean, Carlina had to get banned. I agree with that, like, 100%. But, like, it was, like, that kind of funny, like, concept. And then they unbanned Horn, and now, like, every graveyard deck just gets fucking shit on. By every deck. Because, at the very least, you're just sideboarding for Horn. If any graveyard deck is ever good, which Violet Electo is probably the best deck in Wanderer, there's this fucking Horn. Dark Alice helps? How? Dark Alice doesn't help at all. Horn doesn't target. And it doesn't remove from the game. Horn goes under Dark Alice. Dark Alice doesn't do shit. Neither does Castle of Beatrice. Like, all this stuff that stops your grave from getting yoinked gets, like, Horn goes under it. It's so fucking dumb. Because I'm pretty sure Horn targets the player, right? Yeah, target player. You know what stops Horn? Wind of Asgard. We're putting Wind of Asgard in every fucking deck we play from now on. Actually, as a matter of fact, I forgot Horn targets the player. Wall of Terror is absurd now. That boy was even better than I gave him credit for. Who is this sexy man? Disease. You're even sexier. Exorcist Mage is good against, like, Electo. Probably really good against Electo. That deck doesn't really have a way to out it, other than just, like, raw dropping an Electo in play. No, you're breathtaking. Oh, thank you. But yeah, like, you're trying to do, like, all this stuff. I'm trying to think what else you would put in here. I think it's just, like, a generic control deck after you get around, like, the Pandora thing. Unfortunately, Keep the Faith can't get Pandora back, otherwise that'd be sick as shit. You could potentially play Keep the Faith. It gets Calico Cat back and Lorite. Which, like, Keep the Faith on Lorite's really sick. Raw dropping an Electo is easy because it isn't a high CMC. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, like, the deck has a lot. So, like, one of the other... Here, we'll do this real quick. This deck is also near and dear to my heart. So, Mono White Lumia. Brad. Oh shit, you're right. You just play Brad and you play Awakening. Ooh, you can play Awakening of the Winged Lord with Brad. Goes into Pandora. And then Brad gets back more seal cards. Ooh, I like that. Brad, man, hold up. Hold up. Oh, we'll get back to that. But yeah, you put in, like, 3 Brad. 3 Bratty boys. Awakening of the Winged Lord. You could put in, like, Awakenings. Oh, wait, you could do some dumb shit, then. Let's assume you, like, put Horn down to, like, 2 for the main. Then you could... He's also a human. Insane. If you put all that down, you can play, past that, right? Creator Cats. Because that'll give you barrier stuff, as well as bouncing back, like, Brad to bounce back other stuff. Or for, like, other protection and things like that. And then it's just, like, another Awakening target. And if you're playing Awakening of the Winged Lord, like, you, like, have to play this card, right? It just makes it a counterspell. There we go. We found the line. Probably go down to 3 Calico Cat, 3 Defense Stance, get more target. Or, well, I guess it wouldn't be more targets, better targets. You probably don't need that many cancels, actually. We're gonna swap it back. I convinced myself. And then stone lineup, what would it be? Moonshade? It's always Moonshade. Moonshade's like a 4 of in every stone deck. Where's stones? No, I put all the cards in the stone deck! Stones are in the main deck. Is it 6 age? It's just 6 age, right? It's like no reason not to play 6 age. It's like Bradstone. Stone knowledge, right? Yep. GG. There you go. I mean, if you want the rest of the rune deck, it's probably like Whispers of an Angel. Harvesting Season as that big backup. What's the boss monster / win that isn't all just cancels? Oh, it's all just cancels. That's all it is. You probably do not need 4 Fair spell, honestly. You could play Priscia in here. Priscia's Big Show. You can play Big Show. It's just all cancels. It's your opponent never actually playing anything. That's all it is. And then you play against the one person playing Order and Wanderer, and then you get shit on. Oops, all spells. Oops, all cancels. Einherjar's Whispers. Can't really see the deck list anymore. Here. Those are like the main ones. Alright, I'm gonna leave this on the screen if anyone wants to take a screenshot of this. And you get heggled. Shit! How could I stop an uncounterable Heggle? Oh, yeah. No. Oh, yeah. Druid guy's right. The creator of such a deck. What was it called? Mysteries of Zero? Yeah. Here we go. Here's our destruction out. Unless they play Heggle and call Chance, then we just fucking lose anyway. You actually probably only need one of that. We'll play one. There we go. No one needs to know the ruler. We all know what the ruler is. Nah, Logan made this deck? Yeah, well, Logan's a crackhead. Okay. I'll leave this up for 12 more seconds because I love odd numbers. Excuse you. Just play Schmel and force sack it. But 12 is even? That's what you think. Okay. Moving on. Mono White Lumia. I love this deck. This deck is like my brainchild. Okay. So, the old Mono White Lumia deck, right? You played... Oh my god. Okay, there he is. You played 4 Soul. Flicker Lumia. It's just all the lists made tonight. Damn, if I had that much power, I would love that. So old Flicker Lumia, you played Soul in order to, like, ramp out your mana, right? Like, that was the whole idea behind Soul. And then, like, your power plays were Gwybers. Like, that was the deck. It was power play Gwyber and, like, Celestial Wing Seraph. I think the deck played Izanagi, the big 6-drop, like, I mean, I can pull him up. Izanagi? Yeah, you played Izanagi as, like, a way to remove stuff. So this was, like, the old deck. However, This deck has changed. This deck is genius now, okay? So we play 4 Dark Owls. Card's insane. You play 4 Shining Strike, because you need to combo. And you have Dreams of Juliet and Shining Strike. Little did you know, they printed a sweet little ditty called Yggdrasil's Grace in Pofa. It doesn't auto-blink, but it blinks for less mana. So we have Yggdrasil's Grace. Other sweet little ditties. We have this card. We get Charlotte. So we get to play an amount of Charlotte, which means we get to play Keep the Faith in our sideboard to play off of Charlotte. In addition to Yggdrasil's Grace to play off of Charlotte. This is like the only deck you're going to see a sideboard for, and that's just because these cards are functionally in the main deck because of Charlotte. So don't worry about that. Vin 3 Faria. I don't know what that card does. This thing? Prevent all damage that would be dealt to this card while it is battling. Cancel target spell or ability targeting this card. I mean, you technically do. But I think this card is hot shit. That'll be my answer to that. But you could. You could play that. However, off the top of your head, what cards do you think go in mono white Lumia? Anyone else? Because you just have Wind of Asgard. That is one of them. You do get to play Wind of Asgard off Charlotte. That is also very, very powerful. Eldorado plus Brunhild. Your favorite Oreo. The man who I literally told the cards of this deck as I was making them. Flickering Eldorado is absurd. This card is so much value because every flicker draws you a card since you get one of every gem. He's also burned because the fire gem can hit a player. Free will and discard, right? So like, Eldorado's sick. The new Brunhild, also sick, right? This card is insane. Dispelling Stone and sideboard, yes. Dispelling Stone. There we go. We get to put a 1 Dispelling Stone. You guys are really in on this Charlotte package. I like it, but you would play Flute. However, you do not play as many Flute as you think. When I last had this played, I was only playing 3. New Misty. Oh god. I'd probably play her in the sideboard. She stops your own Eldorado. So like you would need like you would have to like be like, man, my opponent's really doing some dumb shit. Spicy Hunting Angel. Yeah, you could play Misty in your board. The like big board card is Zero the King's Blade. You play like 4 of this in your sideboard and then fill your sideboard because this just like counters Electo. So that's like the Electo counter. Spicy Hunting. Yeah, you can play Hunting Angel. Played as a 1-of. I love tech. Where's the true win con? We're getting to that. Everyone was so in on not Brunhild. So, alright. Alright. Brunhild's Sign of Faith, right? Removes herself if she would be put into the graveyard. However, she gets to put target non-chant light card from your graveyard into the field. Who remembers the last card that did this, that people were playing? This is pure white, right? Not in a second, but technically. So Almarius. So Almarius the ruler liked to put in... Yep, Final Stance. So Brunhild can put Final Stance into play. And you can drop Final Stance to your grave with Dark Alice, which you can flicker, because you're flicker. And you have Gwyber. Fuck, we don't even need Gwyber anymore. We're already at 30 cards. Think I have room for Gwyber. That's an OG Alice win con. So, like, we're already here. You don't really need Hunting Angel in the main. It's just there. But, like, we're at 30, right? And then you can, like, fill in the rest of this deck. But, like, Light has some really absurd cards. It's funny how bad Light is with, like, how good a lot of their cards actually are. Like, if you just do, like... I mean, add Wonder, I guess. Yeah, you can sack off Final Stance. Maybe one green Rezard. You can technically play any color in the deck, because Eldorado, which I didn't add yet, I think. Brunhild also reses Eldorado, which, like, if you don't have Final Stance, you have Eldorado. So, like, Eldorado produces Will of any attribute, so you can play other tech cards that you can just get to with, Dark Alice. You have Light Ouroboros. I wanted Light Ouroboros to be the win con, but it doesn't really do anything besides the, like, 2,000. And 5 mana, shockingly, is still a little bit steep. Sorry, I was just trying to, like, catch up on chat. But, like, you can play Charlotte's Light Transformation in the board. You can play Lars if you need to, for whatever reason. Awakening of Zero you can play. Oh, how am I forgetting the best part of the combo? I love White Law of Silence. I fucking hate Law of Silence, dude. What's better than taking infinite turns? Preventing your opponent from playing on the turn you decide to take infinite turn. Yay! You can play Exorcist Mage in your board if you're, like, super afraid of some stuff. However, do keep in mind it does also, like, counteract a lot of your revival strategy. So just be wary of that. But you can do that. I'm trying to think of what other light stuff we were, like, super hype on. Tsukiyomi Noble, Schrodinger's Cry, Separation of Fates is another really good card to get off of Charlotte. Flute seems good. Where's my 2 mana draw 3? My 2 mana draw 3. Oh, right. Also, like, one of the only OG cards left. So we can put this down to, like, 2. There you go. 40 cards. Needs 1 Nyarla just in case you flip. That's what you think. Gem Panda. Yeah, there are different variants. You can play Gem Panda in order to get more, like, gems and stuff like that. Yeah, like, you can play Intimidation and board. I'm not going to keep going with this. These are, like, mainly Wind of Asgard, Keep the Faith, Yig, Grace, and Dispelling Stone are the biggest ones. For Addition Destruction, board protection, just, like, generic revivability and, like, all-around goodness, and then flickering. One more than Jesus Christ. If we're gonna do stones, though... I hate you. There you go. But, like, for Charlotte, there are pretty much 15 good enough light chants that you could play at one of in your sideboard in order to play off of Charlotte. So, I'm not going to go through all of them. But there is the list. Again, this Hunting Angel is purely in there because someone said Hunting Angel. But, Zero Stone. Is there a stone I'm forgetting, or... Are you the crazy one? Or are you just saying I should play 0 stones? Just spin 3 stones. I'm not going to change the card art on untap. Jesus Christ. Pooh, you whore. Okay, calm down. You could play Boonfaria Hero. Yeah, like there are so many different lines you could go with this deck. Like there are so many cards that you can just play because they're light and can be rezzed off of Brunhild. And then like you can keep flickering. And you can like cut down on Charlotte count, you can cut down on Final Stance, you can even cut down like an Eldorado. Cut down on Yggdrace and the main. Like there's so much stuff you can do. Deck isn't complete without Waifu Stones. I'm going to keep this deck up for a nice even number of 13 more seconds. Since you won't be able to cast the cards when she dies. Yeah, that is true. But that's also like more cards, right? Because like this is 4 Lumia, you would need to find like other slots for the other ones, and then you'd have to play more Farias, which I mean isn't terrible. I think it would just be like a different line, but it's definitely like that's definitely a thing to think about, 100%. All right, that's Lumia. I'll just show this Fox list. I'm not gonna like rebuild it, but I'll just show what I had built. So we got 3 Witch of the Fallen Kingdom. This card's sweet in this deck because it's a dark and a green. If you're at Seal 5, which is a Fox trigger. Lorite just good. Starving Beast. This card's so sick. It's a 14/14 that replaces itself for 1 mana. It's also green. It's just like randomly so good. Until your opponent like blanks your Lilia's Petal in response to you playing Starving Beast, then it's not good. But you get it. I'm sure you get it. Tried Fox once and carry on ruined that dream. Yeah, he's a lad. For Priscilla, just because Priscilla gets 2 things simultaneously. Melfi, because Melfi replaces herself, mana-wise and card-wise, and she's green. Glint of Insight. Glint is like one of the best control cards in Wanderer, specifically. But like you can choose to like cut down on copies of this. I just think like, so like Glint, there's something to be said about your opponent being, like, your opponent flips a ruler, right? And you're like, I know you're exactly on X strategy. Like, let's say they're Brunhild, right? And you're like, wow, I know you're on Planting Beans, like, Seal, whatever. Assumedly, right? And then you're just like, okay, turn 1, call Stone, Glint, call Planting Beans. And unless they have, like, the Harvesting Season in their rune deck, then, like, they're... And then they have to hit the Pandora off the Harvesting Season. Which is, like, not terribly difficult. Horn was not legal when I built this. You probably play some amount of Horn. Like, part of True Power might be Horn. Makage Rhea, because it allows you to, I don't know, dump stuff, I think. I think that's why I put it in here. I think I originally had Sigurds in here, and I feel like there should be a Sigurd, at least. I don't know why I don't. Interesting. Yeah, whatever. But band or something. Ah, yep. There you go. We found it. Yeah. Forgot. Went over it earlier. There it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's banned. That's why he's not in the deck anymore. But you can put like a part of True Power in there. Off of like Makage Rhea. She probably needs to be a different card now, actually. This probably needs to change. Number 13, just like a good cancel spell. This can be something different. Dracula. Dracula's just effectively like the Demonic Dead, but Demonic Dead is banned. And it's better than Monkey because you don't pay mana into it each time he comes back. And he just gets like bigger each time he comes back, I think. So, that's just nice. Kept a Griffin in my deck for that playline, yeah. Yeah, like you could, yeah. But yeah, this is kind of what the Fox deck was looking like. 4 Killing Stone, 4 Black Silence, 2 Moonshade. So, that's where this one was. And then, Witch with a Pointy Hat. You get to play Pumpkin Witch, which you can get off of Witch of the Fallen Kingdom, by the way, which I think is super fucking sick. That's, like, probably one of my favorite things about the deck. Like, actually. No joke. Like, full stop. Like, I might even play 4 of this card. Witch of the Fallen Kingdom is just also good to, like, stop deck searching, right? It stops, like, the Planting Beans line. It stops other lines. But yeah. This was the Fox deck. Let's see, what have I made? Flicker Lumia, Brunhild Seal. Ugh. Okay, we're gonna do Belial Stemma. So Belial Stemma, the one that was in New Frontiers last format before Game of Gods released and rotation happened. Words. Was probably one of my favorite decks, like, ever. It reminds me a lot of a Magic deck called the Mardu Pyromancer, if people are familiar with that. It's just a very mid-range, control-y deck. And just what Belial Stemma was doing, like, it was just pure board control, which felt so fun. Like, board control feels so fun if you're allowed to play board control. Rockdia's Memoria. However, the deck lost some stuff. It lost Aramaki Memoria. I think that was like the main hit for like it in New Frontiers. Is its mana base just got way more inconsistent. You can't really play Moonshade in this deck. That would be hilarious. What would be your other stone? Probably just like. And you lost duels, because I think this was the stone lineup. It was like 1 Heaven's Rift, 1 Scorched Veils. Scorched Veils. I think this was like the stone lineup. 4-1-1-4. Instead of 4-4-1-1. But, like, this is just, like, typical control deck, right? So, like, you play the Inferno, maybe 2 of it. Bloodstone for God Art Renewal. Oh, Erythropia. That makes sense. Play 2 Erythropia. There you go. So, like, 2 Inferno. Suya. You get to play an amount of Flute. And, like, with how the format stuff works... So, like, with how Wanderer works, with it being less impactful for the first turn of the game, in terms of, like, if you can't, like, answer something, you lose, this deck gets, like, a lot better. Because this deck gets better the more stones you're allowed to go up to. The other fun part about this is you also get Glint, which is, like, super cool. I love Glint of Insight. I think Glint is such a cool card. What else do you technically have? Like, you want Flames of Outer World. But you want this version. And you can probably just play 4 of that version. Because I feel like you want a large amount of this card. It just, like, randomly kills stuff, and because it's uncancelable. Like, this kills Pandora. Right? So, like, if you're playing against the Pandora deck, and you just go, like, a Stemma God Art, and they're like, okay, and then you play Flame. Just kills their Pandora, and then they don't have that anymore. The other cool thing this deck got is it got Keep the Faith. So, Keep the Faith in this deck. To have a body as a backup is always nice too. Yeah. So, Keep the Faith. There are a few things about Keep the Faith. And I talked about this in my ruler tier list video that I made about Astema and Belial, is that you can play... Oh god. I can type, I swear. You can play Hunting Angel in the Fallen Angel decks. And, like, you can do this now in New Frontiers, too, by the way. So you can play Hunting Angel in the Fallen Angel decks, and Keep the Faith has usefulness in its revive stuff, right? Like, you can revive Suya, you can revive Flute, other stuff, like other good 1-drops, Witches, etc., right? The other thing Keep the Faith can do is it gives Drain. So Keep the Faith can give Hunting Angel Drain, and because you're allowed to trigger Fallen, because of a Stem of Belial with Hunting Angel, Hunting Angel goes infinite. If Hunting Angel ever gets Drain and has Fallen triggered, it goes infinite. So, that's just like an easy win con. Which is just like really good. Because like Keep the Faith is already functioning as a tech option for like Suya and like other stuff like that. And then it just also can randomly kill your opponent. The deck also gets to play Dark Alice. I don't know how many you'd play, but like, I don't know, maybe 2. Oh, 6? I don't know if you want that much of this card. Like, you would primarily use it as like graveyard protection. It's a 1-drop and like cycle. You already have enough draw. Like, you honestly might not even play Dark Alice. She's just such like a good card. You're playing Prideful Rule, right? Because you're Belial. We're playing... The old version played Prideful Fire, but I don't know if you need that anymore. Honestly, you can probably go down to 3 Flame. I don't think you need 4. 4 seems a little excessive. Oh, this one's really funny. So, again, I said I wouldn't do, like, sideboards or anything like that. However, again, like, order stuff is super potentially prevalent. And I think it's really funny that with order as a mechanic, you sideboard, like, 4 Black Moonbeams. I personally think that is hysterical, but that is just me. Best way to stop the hunting loop. So the thing with the hunting angel loop, if you are a stemma, if you initiate the loop, you have to declare how many times it's going to occur before you have to stop it yourself. Okay? So as the person who initiates an infinite loop that can't be stopped by a player, like, it's just game, like, it's not like I'm going through X actions infinitely. It's this will literally just occur infinitely, and neither of us can do anything to stop it. Because your opponent can't lose under a stemma, you as the turn player have to do something to stop the loop. If you initiate it. If you have no way of stopping it, like literally no way, no matter what you do, you cannot physically stop this loop you're doing, then your opponent has to answer it. And if your opponent has no way of stopping it, game ends in a draw. So the Astema, like, hunting, because like you can do the Keep the Faith Hunting Angel thing in literally any of the Fallen Angel decks. You just need the Fallen text and you need to give it Drain. Doing it with Astema is the most dangerous, because you might just cause the game to end in a draw instead of a win. So you just have to be careful with that. Fallen Angel Black Tears. So my thing with Fallen Angel of Black Tears is I think there are very few things that it hits in Wanderer that are relevant. And, like, what do I mean by that? Like, what are you giving -4/-4 to that is killing it? That you couldn't just play, like, this, like, Dark Sun. Because, like, a lot of the stuff people play early, like, a lot of the 1-drops and things like that, are either, like... Like, what are people even playing early? Like, you play, like, Flute on turn 1? Because, like, if it's the Nyarlathotep cards, their stat line's so large, it's not going to kill it. It won't kill Pandora. Like, it kills Electo, but, I mean, we've kind of seen that you can just bring Electo back. I'm trying to, like, think. Like, it stops, like, the Fox cards. It stops, like, the Witches. It's literally right there. What the fuck? Don't come at me like that. Oh. I like this card as a tech, Swarming Cthulhu. I think this card's super sick if you're ever Belial. So, like, we're playing one of it. Lets you draw 2 if you kill something in a stemma. Yeah, like it. So, like, it does let you. So it does let you draw 2. So here's the thing, right? Fallen Angel of Black that I'm like trying to get like across. So like it being a single black, discard a card, target JRS gains -4/-4, draw a card, right? So Stemma himself, like, that deck doesn't really need to net card advantage because Stemma makes everything you play as, like, removal net card advantage. If that makes sense. So, like, for example, right, when you play a Suya, or let's not even do Suya, let's say Dark Sun. You play, or Flame. We'll just do Flame. Just a kill spell. So you play Flame of Outer World, right? Your Flame of Outer World kills something. Does 8, kills something, regardless of what it is. Your Flame has now killed a thing on board, so it's traded, effectively, 1 card for 1 card. The only exception to that would be if the card your opponent played also drew a card, right? Because in the scenario where the card your opponent plays that you flame, then you would go down card advantage. However, because you're a stemma, you now go neutral on card advantage. So a stemma allows you to use all your kill spells to kill everything, because you're never going down card advantage, really. You're always at the very minimum playing card neutral. And in most cases, like for example, something like Suya, something like Dark Sun, Prideful Rule, like all that stuff, you play card positive. Because your thing kills one thing, they lose their card, and then you generate a card, right? So that's like the biggest thing with the stemma. Fallen Angel of Black Tears, I could definitely see it as like a sideboard tech. Like again, if there's stuff that plays very close to the ground very early in the game that has a 400 defense stat line that like you want to kill, like let's say someone's playing like elves or something like that, you can play tribal elves and wanderer, by the way. Like if someone's playing something like that, then Fallen Angel of Black Tears becomes a lot better, like very, very powerful, because it serves as a functionary removal plus multiple layers of card advantage. However, just the main point is just there's so few things that it really hits. That's just not as impactful. Sorry, that was a bit long-winded, but I just wanted to make sure I got my point across. We're only at 28 cards, by the way. What other like fun darkness cards exist? Tribal Elves is good and always fun. You might be on a delay. I don't have too much of a delay on my stream. I only stream with like a 5-second delay, I think. So yeah, you might want to try and refresh. We're just gonna look in darkness. I know there are more fun darkness cards. Dark Sun's like the coolest thing Astema got outside of like the Keep the Faith stuff, because it's just quick cast Suya. You don't get the Force Resonance stuff, but like Quick Cast Suya is pretty sick. And then it also functions against like Electo as just like a free banish target. Virgil? My voice cracked there. Kills all tribal and Alice Palace if you're Odin, specifically. But yes, that is correct. Virgil. So, like, Virgil is a quick way to kill Astema or, like, kill Belial. If you want to kill them. However, like, here, those are things I need to add. Like, Charlotte, Inheritor, play 2, and then Charlotte's Light, play 2, and then 1 on the board. You can have a Charlotte board. Forgot about that. Might even play 4 of this. Yeah, like, like there are ways to stop the Hunting Angel thing. Like, it's not like it is just a thing to keep in mind if you start it. Typically, you're not trying to kill them. I'm not like a big fan of Virgil for Astema or Belial. It doesn't really... I feel like Virgil doesn't really do a whole lot. Like, the whole Bane, like, clear the board is, like, kind of cool, but that's kind of what Swarming Cthulhu's doing already. And I'd rather just play this. Because Virgil will also gain you life, which puts you out of range of Belial for, like, Prideful Rule or other things like that. Ruin Story? I don't know if I'm a fan of that. It's like 2 mana Dark Sun. Also functions as a counter. So, goes into green, which you have 4 sources of, which isn't terrible past turn 2. Functions as a banish, which Suya and Dark Sun already do. However, it has tech in the form of also being able to play as a Mind Spike slash a like add to hand. Maybe. I wouldn't hate Ruin Story if someone played it. It's like a 1 or 2 of Flourishing Hope, Burgeoning Despair. Doesn't Burgeoning Despair cost like 3? Jesus Christ. Absolutely not. You can always Persia to fish Virgil. Persia in anything green is a must, kind of. Yes and no. It's a very good tech card and a very good mana sink. It's like the best toolbox card this game's ever seen. But there are some decks that, like, aren't functionally trying to rip it like that quickly. It's a good hand fixer. Yeah. Like, it's, yeah. Like, it's good if you have, like, open will and they're, like, doing stuff or, like, not doing stuff. Like, again, like a good mana sink. By the way, if any of you are interested in playing Odin, play 4 of this card with 4 Artillerist. I guess you probably play Black Witch, right? I always do that. There's also the Green Avenger card too. Hell yeah. Artillerist Odin. Oh, I don't even mean for like that. I just mean you play it off of Artillerist of Faith, and then you burn them for... Banquet Demon burns them for 2,400. Artillerist would burn them, or Avenger would burn them for 2,000. Yeah. So, I mean, that's lethal. I'd love to play against a Belial player. Turn 1, Artillerist. And then just stare him dead in the fucking face. Because they'd have to activate in response to the enter before you even... in order to prevent themselves from dying, and then you pitch like a 1-drop and you're like, ha, idiot. Ooh, Necro Barrier? Dude, I always forget this card exists, but it's like so sick. See, this deck's like also already building itself. There are so many good cards in Wanderer. It's so upsetting. Lumia. Remember when Abdul was good? Oh, poor Abdul, dude. Oh shit, you can bait out the God Art that way? Yeah. Like, Artillerist would, I mean, I can pull him up here, but... Yeah, like there's no such thing as, like, cost, right? Well, I mean, there is, but, like, most automatic triggered effects do not have cost associated with them outside of, like, targets or other things like that. So, like, this enter just goes on to the chase, and then it's just a case of, well, when it resolves, all of this is going to happen. So if your opponent's playing Belial and they decide to not activate their God's Art, they could just randomly fucking lose. Which, hilarious. I'm just building an NF deck with glints. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where a lot of this stuff is at, though. Like, the game's been power crept so much, especially at the start of, like, ADW. There have just been so many good low-to-the-ground cards that have been printed. 3-drop Guild that searches a 1-drop Lighter Darkness Chant. Would it search? Like, I mean, keep the faith or glint. Why would I play Glint when I can just play, like, or why would I play, like, that fucking Gil? I'll just play more Charlottes. Oh, man. Yeah, see, like, that's kind of, like, what I mean, right? Like, that Gil is, like, you would think, like, oh, that's pretty decent. I can search out my Glint. I can search out, like, my power chance. But then we just have fucking Charlotte, which, like, almost practically does the same thing. Oh, this card is also really good in Fox, by the way, just as like an FYI, if anyone wanted to play that Fox list. Deck thinning? I mean, you'd be a Stemma, right? Like, you don't really need more deck thinning. Like, I can find 2 cards to slot in here. You can put 2 Necronomicon Barrier in here. Like, Necro Barrier is not bad. You could even put Keep the Faith down to 1. Like, there are so many things you could, like, change in here. Like, you don't need 2 Inferno. You could put Inferno down to 1, put Witch up to 3. You could keep Glint at 2. You could put Glint down to 1. You could remove Dark Alice, right? Like, I mean, what is Dark Alice even protecting? Like, protects Curse of Ragnaroks in your grave? That's it. It's not like you're recycling anything. You don't think I need 4 Gradius? Okay. You can take out Dark Alice. You don't need the Hunting Angel combo, but, like, Hunting Angel just, like, works. You can play Brunhild in here, right? And that can get the Hunting Angel back. There's also Barrier... I know you meant Shadows, but Shouters is kind of funny. Secret Sword combo? Yeah. Welser can play Secret Sword combo. I don't know if I think I was saying something like that, and then I got sidetracked by chat. This deck feels less memey. A Stem of Belial is very much less memey. If I were to play Wanderer, like go to a Wanderer event or anything like that and play in it, I would be playing this deck. 100%. If I owned the cards for it, or could get the cards for it. I just think this deck is so fucking cool. I played it like once in New Frontiers for testing, and I was like, goddamn, I don't want to play literally anything else. Hell, I would just play it in New Frontiers. You can! You want to see how you play it in New Frontiers? Let's see, do I even have any fucking... Take out the Glints. Take out the 4 Ataroctes Memoria. Now pray you only play against fallen angels. And... or, 6 Ages. There you go. You can play it. You don't get why we like Flute? So, I like Flute more with Keep the Faith existing. Again, that's why, like, I have Flute at 3. Because, like, what else are you, like, doing on 1, right? Like, you have your Prideful Rule. So, like, if you have Prideful Rule Flute, you, like, play Flute, get your Prideful Rule, and then you just have a Flute sitting around that can either, like, functionally buff things or just sink the will into it. When they just released new solo rulers. New solo rulers that are trash! Because they fucked up the rulings on them with how they should be used. Exactly 1.5 of them are good. But yeah, so there's this. Which ruling did they fuck up? Must have missed it in the first half. That you can't order if your ruler's tapped? Not being able to order if your ruler's tapped, like, really fucked those decks. The tags will still see more play, and the only deck that's good to go all out is combo that is easily combated. It makes me wonder if dual cluster is going to be a smaller set. Just order out a rest tab. Yeah, like, I get why they, like, why they would do it. So, like, being able to order tapped is, like, kind of absurd. Yeah, like, it's super powerful, but it almost, like, doesn't really change anything. Secret Duel in the Moonlight? Oh, like in this deck? I wouldn't put Secret Duel in here, because you're a Stemma. If this was, like, Belial Dante, then yeah, but not a Stemma. A Stemma gets shit on by Secret Duel in the Moonlight. Like, Secret Duel in the Moonlight Inferno. Like, just, like, beats this deck. But, like, because, like, functionally... So, okay, so, like, that's part of it, is, like, with... So, like, hang on. Where... Hold up. Self-plug of my YouTube channel. No, not upload. Studio? Content tier list. This thing. Where is it? God. Right? Okay. So, like, I'll even big screen it. So, like, this was my tier list, right? And then, like, this is where I expect everything to be. If you could order tapped, I would move all of these up 1. All of the order rulers would go up 1. Except Kaguya would go up 2. and Loki would also go up too. So Niar would go to S tier, Kaguya would go to S tier, Odin would go to A tier, Loki would go to A tier. That's where all of them would be. Niarla is trash tier, you're trash tier. That's all I have to say. You are clearly not playing Wind of Asgard in the main. Because, like, Kaguya being able to order rested is insane, right? Because it allows you to do the Hanzo stuff. So if your opponent doesn't have an out to turn 1 Hanzo, which most decks do, like, that is absurd. It also allows her to, like, turn 1 Feasting off a Stone Call without having to hit Magic Stone to the 6 Ages. Like, that's part of the reason why, I don't like the you can't order tapped thing, is because there's no, like, consistency with it, because Magic Stone of the 6 Ages exists. It's the same kind of thing with, like, Carlina and Magic Stone of the 6 Ages. If you're playing, like, a mirror match of Carlinas, like, there's very clearly going to be someone who's much further ahead because they hit 6 Age Stone more, right? Because it just functions as more mana. And it's, like, kind of the same in order. Like, if I hit turn 1 6 Sage, and you don't, and it's like a control thing, like an Odin, Kaguya, Loki, like one of those decks playing against each other, it's so bad. Because you calling your thing, you can't do anything, but I have access to do whatever the fuck I want. Like, there is a 4 out of 10 chance, or 2 out of 5 chance, whenever I play against a Kaguya player, that if they go first, I may or may not have to deal with a Feasting on my turn. That's just how it is. Seeing your op hit 6 Sage Stone on turn 2 is the worst feeling when they're Order Ruler. Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, it's like that. Like, I don't... If 6 Sage Stone didn't exist, the ordering wall tapped would probably be fine. Potentially. Like, you might see some of these bump up tiers, right? But, like, because 6 Sage Stone exists, and because of how order functions with it needing to be recovered, it's like... It's absurd. I've wanted 6 Sage Stone banned for so long, because that card's just so polarizing. And you can't have 10 of them. Like, my biggest issue with it is the RNG factor. It's why I don't like Hearthstone. It's why I typically don't like other online, like, card games and stuff like that, is because of the RNG involved. More so than that exists in a card game in the first place. Like, I'm okay with the RNG of, like, calling a stone. I'm not okay with the RNG of fucking... Much more than when Ruler's Memoria came out. Yeah, but, like, Ruler's Memoria, people were playing, like, 8-9 Regalia, and it was, like, the biggest thing with Ruler's Memoria was the RNG was your mana consistency. That's all it really was. But, like, you still had duels at the time, so it was, like, well, for a little bit, there was one format where Stealth was, like, rampant because they didn't have duels and could just play Darkness Stones and Ruler's Memoria. But, like, at the time you had duels for a bit. So, like, even if you didn't hit fucking Ruler's Memoria on one, you could still hit your 2 main color stone. Like, Turbo Gwyber was playing, or, like, Alice's World, I guess, at the time, was playing, like, the Gusting... Like, it went 4-3-2-1. It was 4 Ruler's Memoria, 3 of, like... I think Blasting Wave, like, 1 Gusting Skies, and I think, like, 2 Hearse Core, or something like that. Yeah, so, like, Ruler Recovery is stupid. Here. We're off the Belial Stem thing. This is what the deck looks like. Take a photo if you want. Let me... Here. We'll just quickly add some cards. Ataroctia's Memoria. You guys got me fucking boosted. I hate Magic Stone of the 6 Ages. I fucking hate that card. I've wanted it gone for, like, over half a year. Like, ever since the first event I saw that card in, I've wanted it fucking gone. Fuck. I can't redeem that. I'll be right back. I need to go get water. Alright. I'll redeem your hydrate. If Tag Fallen wasn't a thing, then how polarizing would 6H be? I still think 6H Stone would be incredibly polarizing. Like, yeah, like, partially of, like, what Rustin said. Like, here, take a photo of this if you want. I'm sure you guys can find 5 cards. I'm gonna leave it up for 10 seconds before I start going into my fucking 6 Sage Stone ramp. Or rant. Okay, we're good? Perfect. Okay, so here's part of the thing. Like, even with this deck, like Welser, right? I'm playing 4 6 Shade Stone because I'm ramping stones, and my stone ramp allows me to just fucking Judgment. Because if I rip a magic 6/8 stone at any point, I get to Judgment that turn. So I get my stone for free that turn, and then I also get to just Judgment because of it, right? Take it into fucking... that was the New Frontiers list. Take it into Wanderer. I'm still playing 2 of this stone, even in this deck that wants Firestones, for Cthulhu's Intimidation, because it lets me recover. Like, it was played in Violet because, like, you could also just use the Void. It was fine. And then, it allowed you to Judgment and, like, kill your opponent on turn 2. Like, with Violet. Do you want to know what it enabled? It allows this ruler to kill people on turn 1 if they go second. Why? Like, Nyarlathotep kind of does that now, which is like, whatever. And hers is a lot more consistent. But, like, at the time, like, why would you print a stone that allows me to randomly OTK my opponent? There was literally no other way for Faria to do it. Literally no other way. You needed your exact hand, and you needed 6 Sage Stone. What does it allow me to do in Wanderer? I already had this deck pre-built. Why am I not playing 4 fucking 6 Sage Stone in here? Like, why am I not doing that? Fuck it, get rid of those Moonshades, get rid of those Black Silences. 6 Sage Stone, get the fuck in here. Fox is judgmented and 6 Sage Stone doesn't untap J rulers, so still have 6 other stones. Can pre-use all of this stuff. So it's shit? I beg to differ. It allows me to Judgment early off of a stone. Why would it be shit? I mean, Faria played a Ragstone. Well, I played a Ragstone in my version of Faria. Six Sage Stone is so polarizing. Like, it's absurd with Tag because it allows for, like, additional tap effects and the fact that it's always 5 color practically. It's absurd with old rulers because it allows you to Judgment early. It's so dumb. Any ruler that has, like here, fucking... Edwander ruler. If you remove the untap effect, it would be fine. I agree. My biggest issue is it has the untap effect. And it makes, like, any ruler that has a tap effect good. Like, potentially even better than it was before. Like, I mean, it's Lilius. That's whatever. I don't fucking know what Aramaki does besides... We can actually... I can kind of show you what that deck looks like. I think I remember what it looks like. But that deck's kind of funny. You get extra mystery counters with Rhea. I don't know if that matters, but it might. I get to Judgment with Dusk Girl earlier. That was an aggro deck. What else is there? Curate gets even more 6 Sage counter. Or 6 Sage. Fuck me. Of the counters, I can play it in Gil in order to get the elemental cards. I don't even know what Shayla does. Play it in Yggdrasil. Get more cards named Rezard, Machina, Melgus, or Arla. Card's dumb, dude. I fucking hate it so much. Play it in fucking Flute? Draws me a card? God damn. It's probably close to it, but, like... Oh my god, I hate that card so much. And, like, again, it's purely for the RNG factor. Like, why... If I'm playing against, like, a Violet player, right? And I have, like, planned out in my head, this is their turn, they only have this much mana, I know what they can do with that amount of mana. If they want to, like... They can either Judgment, or they can potentially go for, like, this other play route. They can't do both, right? Like, I can have that thought in my head. With 6 Sage Stone, that shit goes out the window. It's like, okay, well, now I have to plan for them to do this play route. They also could potentially Judgment, because they're just plus a mana on a Judgment flip, right? Like, it's just, oh my fucking god. Ugh, card just makes me so angry. It's very much like playing with nuclear weapons. No one wants to have them, but if my opponent has them, I want them too. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's... Oh my god. Ugh. Oh, Aramaki. That was the other thing. So... A friend of mine, Miss Eris, made, like, this Aramaki deck. I think she was, like, the creator of that. But this deck's, like, kind of really funny. I need to, like, read Aramaki. You may pay 1 less to play cards not from your hand. When you play a card this way, draw a card. Okay, so I think this deck played, like, 4 Heavenly Fruit. Yeah, and then you played... Advanced Search... not Ruler, just Resonator. With total cost 1. Hold up. Needs to be void. Okay. let me move this onto my other fucking screen. So let's see. We'll take all the good ones. So we'll do Pirin. Oh wait, they had some of... You needed machines, right? So... We'll do spider-type drone. Kusanagi Motoko in formal wear. You play, fuck, what was it called? Remote Control Beast. Was there no hyphen? Remote Control Beasts. I can already tell this is going to be a better list than mine. That's where you're wrong. Clockwork Soldiers. Probably Mechanical Sprite, I think. Okay. Maria Bella's work. I think it was like March of the Machine Lord. Yeah. Play like 2 or 3 of that. I think you guys kind of get where this is going. March of the Machine, Stogusa, and the free draw off to Maria Bella. Pure gas. Don't forget 6 Sage Stone. You're fucking right. How fucking could I? There we go. We have another card like Heavenly Fruit, right? Then rest is Tron Lands. I fucking love that idea. Oh wait, no, they can't be Tron Lands. We need to play Heavenly Fruit on turn 1. Horn, though? You're 100% right, Rezard16. Horn ruins decks. Beatrice's Castle? Sure. Why not? Play 2 of it. Heart the Heart Talk. Beatrice's Imagination? Is that what it is? Beatrice's... Yeah. Excellent. Play like 2 of that. Yeah, that's probably good enough. I like that. Oh, we need 1 more card. The tech. No one will see it coming. They'll never think our 1 of Lorite is in our Aramaki deck. Harvesting Season? You're really just trying to draw Heavenly Fruit and win the game. That's all this deck does. It loses to so much shit. This deck is very, very bad, by the way. But, like... We can just, like, do this real quick. Daddy Kyron. Like, if you just, like... Draw 5. None of those are Heavenly Fruit. Draw 5. 1 of those is Heavenly Fruit. So yeah, like you call your stone, literally doesn't matter what stone it is, as long as it enters play untapped and can produce black, and then you Heavenly Fruit, you discard your whole hand. If a card would be put into your graveyard from anywhere, remove it from the game. Okay, that's afterwards. So like, you discard your whole hand, so this all goes to the grave, right? And then like, now you're just like, I play this for 0 because I'm playing it from my grave, and Aramaki makes it cost 0. And then after I've played it, I like layer the enters, and then I draw 7 cards apparently. Fuck. Those are my next 7 cards. I get to remove a thing with dive, play that, draw another card, play that, draw another card. You get the idea. And you like play this. It's like how the deck functions. It's terrible. Even the person who like made it and showed me it says it's terrible. But that's the idea. That's what it does. So there you go. If you want to screenshot that, please don't put the one Lorite. Find some other card. And this is very bare bones. I'm like not even trying with this one. I just remember the vague idea, and I know people fucking meme with Aramaki, so there you go. I'll leave it up for 10 more seconds. Okay. I need to delete something. I'm deleting this mess. Is there anything else I wanted to make? Let's see. Ruler. Add Wanderer. By the way, if you guys haven't used forceofwind.online, amazing database. James did a fantastic job, and he's always working to update it. So Hanzo, no. I don't really care about any of the like old Regalia or the Alice Origins Regalia rulers. I don't really care about those. Ooh, maybe Dark Tree. Can't wait for the deck builder. Hell yeah. Oh, there was one deck I saw someone talking about it. I'm gonna... What did this card do again? How did this get recovered? Someone was thinking of making a deck with Baroost. With the new Nyarlathotep cards. But I don't know if they untapped the Baroost. But like, that's like kind of a fun thing that you can do with like Nyar. Or just like the Nyar cards. Use them and then like sack them off the Baroost and stuff like that, and then Nyar can like shuffle them back. So like if you're interested in like a Wanderer Nyar deck that's not just like fucking balls to the wall aggro, you can try to do like Baroost Stone Control Nyarlathotep. Honestly, it doesn't sound terrible. Plus, since you're Nyar, you can make Baroost like uncounterable. Right. And he'd be huge. Oh, plus he gains swiftness if he's under Nyar, which means he can do this immediately. That's actually kind of sick. We'll do that. This'll be our last deck for the night. We'll go all in on this. Bring out all the thinking caps. We'll go Nyarlathotep Baroost. Where the fuck? Okay, there you are. Bruised. We're playing Phantasmal Ascendant. We're playing Sudden Manifestation of Power. We're playing Dance of Chaos. I'm receiving a phone call. That looks like that might be from work. Give me one quick second, guys. I'm just getting a quick... Alright, that was, urgent care that I went to the other day. That was them telling me I tested positive for COVID. Woo! Oh, that's fucking funny. Alright. But anyway, yeah, I got caught. It was part of my New Year's resolution was get COVID, but I'm fine. I'm on the end of it anyway. I was fairly certain I had it regardless, so it is what it is. But okay, we're back. Where are we at? Magic Stone Dance, Chaos, Sun of Manifestation, Phantasmal, Ascendant, Bruised. What else do we need for this deck? We need... I just drank my water. You don't feel any different at all? I had body chills and body aches, but that was like the extent of it. So like it sucked, but like comparatively to what other people went through with the other variants, like Delta and the original one, like it was not bad comparatively. Again, still sucked, but I'd rather get this one with what I got than one of the other ones. Vaccinated? Yeah, I'm double vaxxed. It actually sucks. My booster was scheduled for 10 days from now, but now that's probably not going to happen, so... we need Niara's Tower. What the fuck is it called? Arena Expansion, right. It's like a JJK reference. Arena Expansion. Riala. We want this. Do we want Horn? We probably play like 2 Horn, right? Horn of Sacred Beasts. Right? That's just like more stone cycling. And then we get to play 4 Priscia Stone. Wait, this deck seems so fucking cool. Memoria of Reincarnation. Kyron, are you watching? This is the new Ponza deck. Everyone is mentioning it's a JJK reference. It's just the name, because like that was what they called it in JJK. Ending on some fire, literally. What else do we play here? Let's look at the Niar cards. I just want to look at GOG. I guess I can do, like, those 3 colors. You could play Calamity Shield, though I don't think you need to. Do we play Red Wine and Bread? Maybe? We might only play like 2 or 3 of this, but we probably play Red Wine and Bread. That one's pretty good. Malua into Calamity Shield. I love Malua. Malua was like one of my favorite cards from this set. But I don't know if it fits for this. It might. It very well might. Do we also just play Isis? I feel like you just have to play Isis, right? Like, there's like no way you don't. Card's just like so good. This is my tech. Wind of Asgard. Alright, what else do we get? I don't think you play Red Riding Hood, actually. I think you can get away with not playing Red Riding Hood. And, like, honestly, I don't think you're ever trying to unorder your Baroost. Any MSW Gru's cards? So there's one, like, super cool card that I wanted to use. Fuck, what is it called? Here, it's... I know exactly what it looks like, but I think it's, like, Awakening of Gru's Ballista? No, it's not Awakening. Shit, it doesn't have it in its name. Does it have Knowledge in its name? Damn it. I know it's an MSW. I'll just search MSW. So I love Storm, right? I love dumb Storm combo cards. This card. Awakening of the Magic Stones. So, like... you just get a shit ton of Darkness mana. But, like, Darkness doesn't really have, like, a payoff. But, like, I think this is funny. Do we play Malua? I don't hate Malua. It's like a 2 of. Play 2 Malua. Might as fucking well play Calamity Shield. By the way, outside of just Malua, if you Calamity Shield your Phantasmal Ascendant and shoot it 4 times, that'll also kill your opponent, so... That's another thing you can do. Calamity Shield is, like, actually just, like, an OTK enabler, which is kind of hysterical, but... This is just a Nyarlathotep deck with Baroost and Horn. What else can we want? Oh, yes! We get to play my favorite card. This resurrects Baroost. Also kind of functions as an extra stone enabler because it can resurrect Phantasmal Ascendant. That's kind of relevant. I like that. Did I only want 4 of this? Probably. What's my other stone lineup? Oh, you want the red. Because, like, you can just kind of win off the back of Isis, right? Like, you can be resonance heavy. Like, the thing is, like, you don't even really need the green. You could play, like, Lorite or, like, other shit. Like, you'd want to be resonance heavy. But, like, at the same time, like, flipping Niar for Baroost is, like, also kind of sick. Actually, I think you can. Boop. So, like, I think you can do 4 and 4. And then... yeah, probably Heat Ray. Because, like, what this does... So, alright, so hear me out. RNG, right? I get to potentially tap, right, on turn 1. So the biggest thing that this does is it gives Baroost swiftness, because it allows me to order Baroost. Which means that if I go second, and my opponent, like, does anything with a special stone, like, they just don't have mana up to, like, counter it, you can go, like, Call Stone if you hit... Even if you don't hit 6 Age, like, you get, like, 2 potential hits, right? Because you would go, like, Call Stone, like, Sudden Manifestation of Power or something like that. Or Phantasmal Ascendant, or whatever. Play Baroost. And then as long as you hit 1 Magic Stone of the 6 Age, so you had 2 chances to get a 2 and 5. So it'd be a 2 and 5 initially, and then a 9 out of... or an 8... 4 out of 9. 2 out of 5 and then a 4 out of 9 chance. And then Baroost would, like, flip, you gain swiftness off Baroost, and then you could sack those 2 stones in order to, like, shoot something. Shoot their 1 stone. So, like, you go to 0 stones, but then they also go to 0 stones. I like that. I like that a lot. So I think you do play 6 Age. I think you just take the L on not potentially hitting, on, like, not having Isis triggers. That could be wrong. We need 3 more cards. Excuse me. I need red cards. Add Wanderer. Search. Scorpion for Bane. I'm not like a... maybe. It's more stones. It's also quick cast. There's Thunder for Nostalgia. There is Thunder for Nostalgia. That is true. You can play Gradius. You just won't really be interacting with your opponent, right? Which, like, is fine. Like, Phantasmal Ascendant's your interaction. Trying to think. But, like, this really is just a Untitled deck with Horn and Baroost at this point. It's, like, a little bit different than what the New Frontiers version would be, because it's not playing the Little Reds, but I don't think you need the Little Reds. You could play them just to have the OTK. That's probably fine. So, like, that would be you cut down to 2 Isis. Malua can stay there. Keep the Faith can stay there. Red Wine and Bread goes to 4. Lorite. The one Lorite. He's on to something. You play the 4 Red Riding Hood, and then you would need... What's Nyarlathotep's Cthulhu card? Rebirth of Flaming Disaster. There we go. Rebirth of Flaming Disaster. You play like 3 of this. And then you would want to play 3 of the fling card, or at the minimum 2 of the fling card, but probably 3. The funny part about the fling card is you could also fling Baroost if he ever gets high enough, which is kind of hysterical. So we need to cut 6. We can cut wind down to 1. Again, I love me some tech cards. Calamity Shield at 2 is fine. You know, we're probably drawing so many fucking cards off of Baroost we don't need, and like the stones, we don't need Malua. Phantascendant, Sudden Manifestation, Calamity Shield. We can go down to 2, keep the faith. The other thing I like about Keep the Faith is the drain portion. Like, drain is like... we can go to 2, Explosive Withdrawal, and then... 1 horn? I'd want to play 2 horn. 2 Calamity Shield still seems fine. Yeah, like, Drain with Red Riding Hood's, like, absurd. Drain with Baroost is, like, a lot of damage. Drain with Phantasmal Ascendant is a lot of fucking damage. Sudden, like, Keep the Faith Drain onto Phantasmal Ascendant, and then you shoot something. Yeah, that's like 1,000. If you're shooting multiple things, it's 1,000 per. See the other horn copies going in the sideboard. Yeah, like if you're like afraid of like Electo and other stuff, yeah, like you can just do that. There it is. So now they still like kind of have to respect the turn 1 thing, so if they ever tap out, you just have the combo in your hand, you can just fucking kill them. But yeah, there it is. I'll leave that up there for the next 20 seconds. Okay. Very last thing. If you guys are unfamiliar with what I mean by Nyarlathotep, being like having a turn 1 FTK, this is Energize. I'm just going to show you what it looks like and show you the damage. I've been meaning to make like a video about this, but I made the Nyar video and then it ended up being like 40 minutes. And so I was like, I want to not have this be 40 minutes. And then I got COVID and then some other stuff happened. So these are the 4 cards that they can have in their hand. These 3 are lethal. These 3 are lethal. These 4 are like Omega lethal. The way, the places that you stop it, the easiest places to stop it, is you stop them casting Red Wine and Bread, or you kill Red Riding Hood in response to her enter trigger. Okay, those are the ways to stop the FTK or OTK. So how it works is they go second, they go turn 1, Energize, right? This is in, I mean, you could do this in Wanderer as well, but this is mainly New Frontiers. I don't want 7 cards. I mean, eventually I'll want 4. So what'll happen, you will get a stone. In New Frontiers, they're all Firestones, right? Like, pretend these are all Firestones. So in New Frontiers, they're a Firestone. So you get your Firestone, this triggers Red Wine and Bread once. To give +2/+2. The +2/+2 is a board state effect, so it'll affect everything that comes in after. Next, you use that 1 red in order to play the Red Riding Hood, and then you order it. Old face. So you order the Red Riding Hood. That will get you 2 more stones into play tapped, right? Again, they're all Firestones. That will trigger Red Riding Hood twice. And then that will give you 2 more triggers on Red Wine and Bread. You will then call a stone, because you haven't called a stone for turn, and you're still allowed to do that. So you call your stone for turn, which will give you another trigger on each. Okay, so then Red Riding Hood is going to be, off of her own stats, right? She's 200 plus 3, because you dealt damage to your opponent 3 times, right? So you've dealt damage to your opponent 3 times, so they're already at 3,400. Her stat line is going to be 800 something. She has 800 attack. That's the important part. Plus another 200 from being ordered. She's at 1,000, and then plus another 800 from Red Wine and Bread. So she is an 1,800 with Swiftness. So you swing, you deal 1,800, right? We'll just type this in chat. 1,800. After you've dealt the 1,800, you can then, again, either one of these two. If you explosive withdraw, your opponent will take another 1,800 plus the 600 that they've taken from her burn, which will end up being a total of 36 plus 6, 4,200. It'll end up being a total of 4,200. Okay, so that is these 3 cards. That'll kill your opponent, right? From full. Snow Crash with the tier 1 subscription. Thank you so much for the support. I greatly appreciate it. The other one is if they still have this 1 red floating, right? And they can use that to Rebirth the Flaming Disaster, their Red Riding Hood, which will give them 5 tokens, okay? The first part and the second part, the Force Resonance is just an additive effect. And Force Resonant, her, like, X-Cthulhu thing, does not say instead. So you will always get 1 token, and if you're Nyarlathotep, you will get 1 token plus X. So you'll get, like, X plus 1 tokens, okay? So you'll get 5 tokens. All those tokens will be 4/4s with Swiftness. However, they will all get +8/+8 from Red Wine and Bread. So that means you have 5 12/12s with Swiftness. Which is 6,000 damage. So if your opponent takes 6,000 plus 18 plus 600, that's what? 6,000 plus 18 is 78 plus 600, that's 8,400. So this play line is 8,400 damage. If you have all 4 of these cards in response to Rebirth of Flaming Disaster targeting your Red Riding Hood, you can in response explosive withdrawal it. You have to do it in that order, because explosive withdrawal references the destroyed target in order to use the attack for LKI. If you do it the other way around, it will not reference the card. If you do it that way, you add on an additional 1,800 damage, which means you deal 94. You deal 10,200 damage on the very first turn of the game. So that is, what was it under? That is the Nyarlathotep like combo lines. So that is what people are saying with Nyarlathotep combo killing your opponent. That is how it is done. I'm sure there are other ways, like if you hit like Sudden Manifestations of Power or like other shit like that, you could like hit it early. The main thing is having Red Wine and Bread for Rebirth of Flaming Disaster. Again, the thing with this, it is weak in exactly 2 spots. It is weak here, where you can kill the Red Riding Hood in response to her enter trigger, and it is weak when they try and play Red Wine and Bread with no other stone. Those are the 2 areas it is weak at. The other thing, you kind of just want pure J-Ruler destruction. You can't Gradius Red Riding Hood. That will not kill her. She will come if they Red Wine and Bread and then they order her. She comes in with 900 defense. Okay, so Flames doesn't work. Gradius doesn't work. None of that shit works. So if you're having issues with Nyarlathotep, they keep combo killing you for some reason, that's how you stop it. Okay. Just thought I would put that out there. But anyway, not even double Fallen Angel -4 doesn't work. Yeah. Exactly. But anyway, those are the lists from tonight. Hope you have them all screenshotted. I might take my own screenshots and post them in Facebook or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Or I'll delete them all so no one can see what we've seen tonight. Stop bread. Bread A tier. But thank you all so much for stopping in tonight. I really appreciate it. There were a lot more people than I thought there would be. Hopefully I'll stream a little more. It seemed like it was stable, so my internet should be good to stream again at my new place. But yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. If I ever do more streams, they will be on Thursdays, so don't worry too much about that. And yeah, hope you all have a great rest of your night. And then feel free to like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. Myself here on Twitter, my YouTube, which is just XD, I think. Oh god, I should know that. My YouTube is just XD, but feel free to follow stuff there. I do more regular content on there nowadays. So, see, we got content for days. But feel free to check me out on there. Light mode? Yeah, dude. I'm trying to burn my retinas. But again, thank you all so much.